Hey everybody, it's Carl Brown from guitarlessons365.com, and now we're going to continue our hybrid picking studies with a group of 5 more patterns to practice that all involve using the pinky and the picking hand, so it's going to get a little bit more difficult here. We're still going to be using groups of 3s, so we're going to be doing everything in triplets or eighth note triplets. So please go to guitarlessons365.com and download the PDF of this. You'll find it in the description or right above the video on the site. So let's go right through it here. We're going to start here. This is going to be our 7th pattern overall, and we're still going to be using the same 2 chords, the C major and the G7 that we did from before. So if you haven't watched the first lesson, I would recommend going back and watching that one first and going through those exercises before you get to these. Now we're simply going to start using our pinky in the patterns. So let's start with this, holding the C shape, and we're going to pick this first exercise on this new lesson is pick on the 5th string, your middle finger on the 3rd string, and then your pinky on the 1st string. So you're skipping strings all the way up. Then we're going to take the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings all in succession by picking the 4th, middle finger on the 3rd, 3rd finger on the 2nd string. So we're using all our pick and these all 3 fingers together now. So we got pick, middle, pinky, pick, middle, ring. So let's do that pattern twice. Then we'll switch to the G7 chord, and if you're following along with the PDF, you'll see that. And then we do the same pattern. But on what we're going to do here, instead of just hitting we did it that way, the pattern one way, and when we do the pattern again, this time let's come down and start the shape. We'll still have these 2 notes the same, the 3rd string and 1st string, but we're going to do the pick on the 6th string. So we're going to let our 3rd finger hold this G down here. And then the pick comes to the 5th string here, and these 2 fingers remain the same that they were before as well. Doing the 3rd, then the 2nd strings. So the pattern is the exact same, except we're basically lowering the pick 1 string for each hit. So the whole pattern. And just repeat. Alright, now we basically have the same pattern but reversed. Instead of ascending, we're always going to still start with the pick on the bass strings, but then we're going to reverse it and hit the pinky first, followed by the middle finger. And then the second pattern is good. So everything's just the fingerings for the finger pick strings are basically just going to be reversed, and that's all you have to do. So we have this. Pretty simple as soon as you have the first one down. All right, now this next exercise is the first one we really have that makes our fingers because you'll notice that all of our picking motions are for the previous lesson and this lesson so far have been all in one direction. All the notes are kind of ascending or descending, the patterns with the fingerings. Here we're going to have this full C major chord, and we're going to pick the 5th string, we're going to go, and then on the 3, 2, and 1 strings, we're going to do the middle finger, ring, pinky. Then we're going to come back down to the 2nd string and back down to the 3rd. So we have to do this. So we went up and then came back down. Okay, and then we're going to continue the pattern by doing an ascending pattern on the 4, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So it's going to be pick on the 4th, middle on the 3rd, ring on the 2nd, and then do the same pattern again, except just you move your pick over to the 5th string. So those last 6 notes. So all together, we had that up and down pattern followed by those 2 little patterns. and then switch chords and do the same pattern. Okay, now we pretty much have kind of the same thing, but a little bit reversed here. We have starting on the 5th string, then we're going to pick 2 and 3. So basically what we're doing here, just kind of like we've done with all these exercises, the middle finger always gets the 3rd string, the ring finger always gets the 2nd string, and the pinky always gets the 1st string here. Okay, and then the bass is kind of the pick is kind of taking care of any of the bass strings, any of the wound strings, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's not always going to be the case with these, but for right now, that's what we're doing. So in this next pattern, we're going to hit the 5th string with a pick, then 2nd string to the 3rd string. So of course, it's going to be the ring to the middle, and then 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. So if you got the fingerings in the right spot, you know which fingers play each one of those notes. So we have this. And then we kind of do the 4th, 2nd, and 3rd, then 5th, 2nd, and 3rd. Those last 6. So we have all right. Now this next one is going to be our last one for this lesson, and we're going to continue on with some more parts of these when we're getting into 16th notes and a lot of changing directions and stuff. So this one is a little bit of a stretcher here because we're going to have to reach up and grab a little bit awkward note with our pinky. So this is a good one to end on. So we're going to hang out first. We're going to hang out on these 3 strings, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So our picking fingering's got to change a little bit. We're going to be picking on the 5th. The 3rd finger is going to get the ring finger is going to get the 3rd string this time. And then your middle finger is going to pick the 4th string. Okay? And then we're going to take our pinky and grab the 2nd string and come straight down. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, just like that. So basically, our fingers have moved down 1 string. The pick gets the 5th string, and then the remainders of the fingers get the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. So we're just playing on these 4 middle strings here. All right. So we have 5, 3, 4, then 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do the same pattern again. But instead of this 2nd note being when we come back for the little descending 3-note pattern, instead of that 1st note being on the 2nd string, we're going to reach up and grab it on the 1st string. And the other 2 strings are going to be the same. So you basically have to reach over that 2nd string. It's a little awkward. So that shape is this. So let me do them together. This one, pinky on the 2nd string. The next one, pinky on the 1st. And repeat that with the chord change. Okay, so when you're doing all these exercises, try to keep your hand and wrist kind of still and make your fingers kind of move from their big knuckle joints down here. And the middle knuckle joints are they're gonna help your finger kind of follow through. And this stuff, you gotta make sure you wanna have the same contact point on the string every time. So find a good section, even if you use nail or no nail, find the sweet spot on that left edge of each finger, that contacts the string, that sounds good and it feels good, and try to aim for your finger to actually land and then pick the string from that point every time. Okay? All right, so please stay tuned for the next lessons in this series. And go to guitarlessons365.com, support the site in any way you can, and feel free to ask me any questions you got. Okay? Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.